right, today I'm going to be showing you guys my new daily driver. This is a 2015 Mini Cooper S. I actually got it about a month ago, and so far I am absolutely loving it. And I'm going to tell you guys why I bought this, and then also we're going to take it for a little spin. So, a little bit of backstory. I sold my Civic Si a long time ago, and I had about a budget of $15K to play with for getting a daily driver to complement my 370Z. And I was between Mini Cooper S or a Volkswagen GTI. And I ended up going with this, and I actually am very happy that I did. This does have an automatic transmission, which I think is the move for a daily driver. I've got my Z to do fun stuff with. And this automatic is actually really good. I haven't done too much to it, but I do have an exhaust. I have a PLM axle-back exhaust. I already have filmed a video on this and I'm going to release it soon. As far as the condition of the car, it's pretty decent. These tires are a little bit rough. They definitely feel old and they do not grip at all. So I'm going to use the stock wheels for some winter tires. And then I'm going to get some aftermarket wheels that are just, maybe I'll have some all seasons or some super mild summer tires. The paint quality is pretty good. Apart from a couple things, this door, for some reason, I think must have had clear coat fail or something, because you can kind of see that it's silver here. So I'm gonna have to repaint this or just touch it up. I already bought the paint for that. This sort of panel seems good. The bumper does have a clear coat issue. It's looking a little bit faded, and I think it's gonna be hard to pick up on camera. This top is in good condition, but I actually think it was resprayed at some point. Some of the trim shows overspray, which I think if, from the factory, it shouldn't have any overspray at all, because the trim would go on after it's been painted. There is also some falling apart things, but for the most part, mechanically, it's in good nick. It's got 41,000 miles, which is absolutely crazy. It's like barely been driven. If you're about 5 feet away, it's good. So this is a 2-liter turbocharged engine. It's actually a B48 from BMW. Now that's actually used in a lot of different BMWs. I'll put it all on the screen right now. It's a lot. This is used pretty widely, and for good reason. I think it's actually a great engine. Has a lot of low-end power. Seems to be reliable from everything that I've researched. This is actually what sold me on the car. The interior is really well done. All the materials that you touch are soft touch. There's not really a whole lot of rattles, and this car specifically is in really good condition. These seats are fantastic. I actually really like these seats a lot. Perfect amount of bolstering. They're supportive, they're comfortable. Exactly what you want out of a daily. These are awesome. You also have lots of headroom. Even though it's a small car, I guarantee if you're like 6'5", you can absolutely fit in here. The headroom is absolutely insane, because I guess it is, really, it's a box. At the end of the day, it's a box. Steering wheel is good. One complaint is that it does not have paddle shifters. However, if I go into the trunk, all the way from Lithuania, yes, Lithuania, I bought a John Cooper Works steering wheel, which has paddles. So with a little bit of coding, should be pretty simple. I think I can actually get this steering wheel to work and have paddles, which is really going to improve the driving experience. The trunk is small, sure. However, I can fit all the groceries that I ever get with no problem. And this is for me and my girlfriend living together. I can basically have some reusable bags. I can fit 3 of them, which accounts for everything that I need. If you want, you can put the seats down and a pretty decent amount of space. Obviously, it's a small car. No way around that. But I think most people can get away with just having this amount of space every day. I really do not think that you need any more. So let's go take it for a spin and I'll show you guys how it drives. a big reason why I really liked this Mini over GTIs is that this has a traditional torque converter transmission as opposed to a dual clutch that's found in the GTIs. So a big benefit of this is that the low speed, just first gear, second gear, is much, much smoother than a DSG. You do have drive modes. You can change it with this little, I guess, paddle thing. So we can go into sport mode. It says let's motor hard on there. Kind of interesting. And it definitely makes it more aggressive. The throttle mapping is very touchy. The later models, Mini and third generation, do get adaptive dampers to firm up the suspension in sport mode. This, however, does not. This car is incredibly smooth for just normal driving, and when you kind of want to have some fun, you actually can. It's a pretty quick car. The steering is a little bit vague, if I'm being completely honest, and the actual weight is very, very heavy. It's a very heavy steering wheel considering how light and how small the car is. I think it's kind of a missed opportunity to not make it a very light sensation, but at least the steering wheel itself is the perfect size. Good turn signal noise as well. At higher speeds, the car is very smooth. It's got some road noise. I think part of the reason might be these really crappy tires that are currently on the car. That dude just littered in front of us. Dope. Yeah, so let me talk about why I got this car instead of a GTI. So I've had a Mark V, a Mark VI, and I wanted to get a Mark VII. They are still very, very expensive. The one that I was looking at had 90,000 miles and was about $14,000. This had half the miles at 41K and was a little bit more expensive at 14,700. I think this is a much better value than a lot of Mark 7 GTIs. You can get these between 10 to 15K all day, no problem at all. Take your pick. Mark 7s are about 15 to 25K. And honestly, I don't think that's worth it. Mark 7 GTIs are great cars. I think this is a little bit worse, but almost there. It's just almost as good as a Mark 7 GTI. And in my opinion, it's even a little bit more fun. It doesn't take itself so seriously. You have cool kind of styling tricks. It's not afraid to be a little bit weird. It's a tiny car. And overall, I think you can get a lot more value out of these third generation Minis than you can a lot of similar cars in its class. So I fully believe if this stays reliable, I'm going to own it for a long time. Everything about the driving experience is really good. It's smooth, it's comfortable, it's pretty quick. It's pretty quick. Sounds pretty gnarly with those pops. The handling is pretty decent. There's not a crazy amount of body roll. You definitely can feel the lack of limited slip differential up front. And now we go back in automatic, flip it to the mid mode, which is kind of just the normal mode. And we have a nice little daily driver. I think this car is great, and it has a lot of value in today's market because everything is so unbelievably overpriced for enthusiast vehicles. I think this is fantastic value. I'll keep updating you on the reliability of this. I'm hoping that it's good. It is, you know, realistically, it's a BMW, so that's a bit up in the air, if I'm honest, on reliability, but I'll let you know. I'll let you know how it goes. I'm really hoping that it does well.